How did you sleep? You don't have anything to say this morning? Oh my God. Good morning, friends. Sorry for the weird angle and awkward lighting. This is the only light on in the room right now, so. Everybody's just getting up. It's about 6 a.m. Ugh. But we have to go figure out strollers and all that stuff this morning. It's definitely different traveling with kids, I'll tell you that. Being, you know, just a pair of adults normally. This is a new adventure for us. But it's only day one. Well, I mean, I guess day two technically, but day one at the park. So we'll see how it goes. And obviously you'll come with us and whatever. But yeah, good morning. We'll talk soon. So we got one still sleeping. She was up a minute ago all excited. And now she's just a pile on the bed. Carlos is finally up and moving though.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I am.
We got this going on over here.
I've been up since 5:30.
Yeah.
She's sucking her thumb.
We're figuring out breakfast. I think we already figured it out maybe. And then,
pacifier, Kenzie?
yeah, that's where we're at. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Are we ready? Are we excited?
We're so excited. Are you excited? If you're not excited, you can stay here.
Yeah, we can always stay here and just have a hotel day. No? All right. Well, we'll talk soon.
Bye.
So we met up at breakfast. We all placed mobile orders separately so that we could keep, you know, our sort of family groups together. And yeah, breakfast is a little bit chaotic in the morning. We got there kind of like right in the heart of like, you know, everybody trying to get food and stuff. So it did take a little bit of time to get all the stuff we needed. But all things considered, it was relatively quickly before we got out in line. And of course, the line for the Magic Kingdom bus was already long, which of course I expected. The good thing is at the beginning of the day, they tend to send a lot of buses to accommodate long lines like that. And so it didn't take us too long to get, you know, close to where the buses were loading. And in the meantime, we took the opportunity for this to be a photo shoot and yeah, took a bunch of photos. We ended up getting lucky and we got a charter bus, which has never happened to me before. And it actually happened to me several times this trip for some reason. It made things easier since my brother and sister-in-law had a stroller and their stroller fit perfectly underneath the bus without having to like fold it down or anything. So yeah, they kept getting lucky with the charter buses. And the kids were of course really excited. I don't think they really knew what to expect, but they knew that it was something fun and good coming up, so they were eager to get onto the bus. From what we were told, there was one kind of minor issue getting up in the morning, but being that things were slow in our room as well, I'm not surprised that after such a long travel day and such, there was a little bit of general crankiness. But that went away really quickly, and especially as we made our way to Magic Kingdom and got off the bus and we made our way in and onto Main Street. We were all kids in a candy shop at that point. So we're in, we have strollers, everything's going pretty smoothly so far. Not too late. Yeah, how's it going for you?
It's going good, pretty good. Everything's gone without a hitch so far, so let's hope that the rest of the day stays.
I'm so excited for our first meltdown whenever that happens. Well, apparently half of our group has already had theirs, so yeah. We're due for ours.
Oh God.
We'll see, we'll keep you posted. We'll talk soon. We decided to bypass Jungle Cruise because the line for that was really long, and it never did die down for the rest of the day, so we ended up missing that one. But Pirates of the Caribbean only had a posted 25 minutes, so we went straight there. This was one my brother-in-law Ian said he was really looking forward to, and all 13 of us got in line for that. It's a great first ride because we could all ride it together. We didn't have to worry about like the kids being the right height and being with an infant and those kinds of things. But then we went to Big Thunder Mountain after that, and the kids absolutely had a blast on this one. And even though all the kids except for the baby were tall enough to ride, we decided to take advantage of the rider swap option. My sister-in-law Jackie and my sister Maggie stayed with the baby while we rode the coaster, and then we switched and they went and had their ride on the coaster. So yeah, it worked out.
You ready? Woo! Here we go. Here we go. Oh, my hair.
After we all got a chance to ride Big Thunder Mountain, we made our way back through Frontierland and into Liberty Square because it was definitely at that point time for a potty break. And as we were finishing up in the restroom and waiting for the last couple of people to rejoin the group, we noticed that a cavalcade was coming, so we went over and took a look at that. Cavalcades always kind of add a little bit more magic to the situation, and we actually saw a couple of them throughout the day while we were at Magic Kingdom, and a few more throughout the week. And after that pass, we decided to go get in line for the Haunted Mansion. It was listed in the app at 50 minutes, but the sign that the cast member was holding said 60, so we split the difference and figured it was going to be about 55 minutes. But while we were in line, for whatever reason, the ride broke down, and so we debated if we wanted to stay in line or get out and go do something else. But then a lot of the people in front of us started leaving the line, and we thought, well, I mean, since we were planning to wait close to an hour anyway, we may as well stay in and hopefully they'll get the ride fixed. That's happened to me in the past where I stayed in line and other people didn't, and then all of a sudden it reopened and I was like, one of the first people to get on. It didn't quite work out that way for us in this case, but we ended up spending exactly 59 minutes in line. The ride did eventually reopen. So while we didn't benefit from the breakdown or anything, we didn't really lose much either. But that's kind of the risk. If you choose to do that, you may end up waiting longer than you expected to. But the benefit is that you may end up waiting way less. But either way, it wasn't too bad for us. From there, we made our way over to Tomorrowland because we wanted to get some food, and we decided on Cosmic Rays because they have a lot of, like good child-friendly options. I got the Cheeto-covered cheeseburger and some fries. The fries were great, but the cheeseburger was pretty close to inedible. So if you're at Cosmic Rays, no matter how good the idea of Cheetos plastered to the top of your burger bun sounds, do not fall for it. But yeah, so after we finished eating, we made our way back into the hub so that we could take our group photo at the castle since we hadn't done that yet. And at first I was trying to take it selfie style with everybody behind me in the background and me in the foreground, but I snapped a few shots while they were all getting set up, and then they didn't really know that I was taking a picture, so you'll notice that nobody's really paying attention. But then this girl came up and she was like, "Do you want me to take a picture of all of you?" And we were like, "Heck yeah, we do." So she took this beautiful professional quality picture, and yeah, that one went straight into the family vault. And then from there, after the picture had been passed around and we were all content with everything, we started to leave, but it was good that we lingered for a bit because a cavalcade came up right behind us, and we all turned around and went to go check that out.
Have you ever seen Bicep Film After? What's your secret? I like your pattern. Mary Poppins and Aladdin.
After the picture and the cavalcade, we made our way into Fantasyland because there were a few rides there we still needed to do, and we went to Mickey's PhilharMagic because I figured since we just ate, it was a good kind of slower paced ride. We had checked the time for It's a Small World, but the wait time was like 50 minutes, which we thought was a little bit too much for that ride. So Mickey's PhilharMagic it was, and that show is basically my entire childhood in 15 minutes, so it definitely is a standout for me. And then we went and rode King Arthur's Carousel. It was actually the first time I've ever ridden that because it's kind of weird in my mind to ride it as an adult if you don't have kids with you, and it's one of the oldest carousels in operation, so there's that. And while we were riding that, the line for It's a Small World actually went down to like 30 minutes, so we were like, heck yeah, let's go do that. A couple of the kids had fallen asleep at this point. One of them woke up for the ride, the other one slept the entire ride, but whatever. It's a lot of walking and fun in the sun, and if I could fall asleep and have someone carry me around for an hour or two, I'd be first in line for that. It's a Small World ended up being kind of a nice sort of break for us adults too, because you get to sit in a boat for 15 minutes and just kind of chill in the air conditioning, and it's a cute classic ride with a pretty nice overall message. After that, we made our way over to Under the Sea with Ariel and friends, and my brother-in-law Ian ended up carrying 2 of the youngsters. At one point, he even had 3 of them, which, you know, obviously he's got rippling muscles to be able to do that. The 3 3-year-olds, we started referring to them as the 3 threes because they ended up being kind of like a powerful element of the kid group, and we got really lucky that they never fully realized just how powerful they were as a group, because I'm pretty sure all of us adults would have lost. Anyway, we were all kind of starting to lose steam at this point anyway, and yeah, the Little Mermaid ride ended up being pretty fun. I think all the kids were awake for that one, since we had to split up into, you know, different clamshells or whatever. But yeah, I know all the kids enjoyed it, especially the girls, because obviously that theming is perfect for them. Other than maybe Ursula, because she's pretty freaking scary on that ride and in general. After the Little Mermaid ride, Carlos and I decided to go get everybody Starbucks, because as I mentioned, we were starting to really feel kind of fatigued at this point, and everybody else went and rode Dumbo. Dumbo's obviously a classic must-do at any Disney park, and since Carlos and I had done it a couple times before already, we figured it was a perfect opportunity for us to split up and go get some caffeinated reinforcements. And when we finally did meet back up, they had actually just finished Dumbo, and we all went into the little circus tent shop right there, which is another place I'd never actually been into. After the circus tent, we were pretty content with Magic Kingdom for the time being, and so we decided it was time to hop over to Epcot for the evening. So we said goodbye to the castle on the way by, and then went out to the front to catch the ferry boat. We took the ferry boat over to the Transportation and Ticket Center to catch the monorail down to Epcot. I'm so glad that this line is open now. It makes getting to Epcot for Magic Kingdom so much easier than it was a few months ago. And obviously taking the ferry boat and the monorail are kind of rides in and of themselves, and of course it's cool since they both opened with the park, with the Epcot monorail line opening with Epcot in 1982. We really didn't have to wait that long for the monorail to come in, and it was easy for us all to fit in a car together. When we got to Epcot, we had a little bit of a hiccup with my brother's stroller. Him and my sister-in-law ended up having to turn that in because it wasn't in compliance with their policy. It was a little bit confusing because they had let us into Magic Kingdom with it, and we figured that would be probably the most strict of the parks, but you know, just I always tell everybody there will be glitches, and we ran into one. I will say the people at the gate at Epcot were kind of rude to us, and I'm assuming they probably had a little bit of a rough day because there was very little humanity in the interaction, and we were kind of treated like criminals a little bit, but once that was all settled, we were inside and everything was back on track. So my advice to you on that is to just look at the stroller policies in advance and take them very, very literally, and err as much on the side of caution as you possibly can. The first attraction we decided to ride was Soarin' Around the World. We went into the Land Pavilion for that, while my brother stayed outside with the now rented stroller and baby Harley. The cast members working Soarin' were really, really great, and we had so much fun with them. They even let us ride twice in a row because there wasn't like a long line or anything. I had planned for a dining reservation for each of the couples in our group, and my sister Maggie and brother-in-law Ian were first up for that. That's why we came over to Epcot to begin with, so that they could have their date night at Coral Reef, which they really liked because they got a little bit of a break from the kids for a little bit and got to enjoy each other's company. And in the meantime, the rest of us went and rode the Seas with Nemo and friends and looked around the park a little bit. Then we grabbed some food and linked back up with Mag and Ian, and then we made our way to the park exit to leave. We were all pretty tired, and some of us were starting to get a little grumpy at this point, so we just went back to the room and crashed, and I didn't end up recording a good night video clip for you all. So I want to thank you all for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all those fun things. We'll talk soon, and you all have a good night.